is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
The Indiana Hoosiers have planted their flag at the door leading to the crown jewels in the Big Ten Conference. Move over, Jones. It's a guy named Edwards who has been blowing open the doors all season. Hoosier Jay Edwards, the man in winning 6 close games in conference play. This game winner against Purdue, 4 seconds to play. And this memorable 3-point winner against Michigan with no time remaining, setting off a ringing Hoosier celebration. Today, Indiana goes for the championship against Illinois on ABC's College Basketball. It is number 3, Indiana, host at home, Assembly Hall, Bloomington, Indiana, against number 8, the Fighting Illini of Illinois. And very simply put, as you look at the Big Ten standings, if Indiana wins the ball game today, then they win the championship. The crown jewels, as we said, are at hand. And tuck this away, too. It's important to remember that the Big Ten Conference does not have a postseason tournament. So one would think that if Indiana, ranked number 3 in the nation, wins the ball game and the title today, then they would probably be on their way to a top seed and very likely right here at the Hoosier Dome in Midwest. Let's turn to Dick Vitale now and talk about this matchup today. Illinois, the only team to beat Indiana this season in the Big Ten.
Well, they're the last team to beat them here also, Keith. They're the last team to come to Bloomington, Indiana, and get a W. They beat the General and his team right here in Indiana. They've been playing outstanding basketball. Illinois is really playing well. One of the key players today can be Stephen Bardo. I believe he's the best defensive big guard in America. And today he's going to have to control a guy by the name of Jay Edwards. And then we're talking about Battle and Anderson. Unbelievable combination on the offensive boards for Illinois.
I'm not very big on this destiny business, but I'll tell you, the more you look at this Indiana bunch of kids this year and the job that Bob Knight's done, you can start thinking about it, don't you?
Keith, amazing. What a great story in college basketball. It was Humiliation City earlier in the year. It was unbelievable as they were blown out by North Carolina, Syracuse, and Louisville. Now they've ripped off 21 out of 22. They're in the toughest conference in America, the Big Ten, and they've been outstanding. Jay Edwards is the key. He's been Mr. Clutch all year long and going to get a lot of votes for Player of the Year in the Big Ten. He's my choice as the MVP in the league. Joe Hillman is a great player and a leader.
The Hoosiers, the grinders, discipline, control tempo. Illinois would love to run and gun. Let's put it up and see what happens. Now the lineups for today's game, matching Illinois and Indiana. And this is the way they will start for the Fighting Illini. Nick Anderson, who's had a big week, had 54 points in 2 games this past week. He lines up with Battle, both 6'6", Hamilton 6'7" on the up front line, with Liberty working the baseline often, 6'8", and Bardo at 6'6". Scoring average, as you see, for Indiana. Hillman is the smaller of the bunch up front, but he really plays a swing position. So as far as size, Indiana, if you put it down, will come off with their 3 big men, probably a little bit to the good, but the athletic ability of Illinois is really something to watch, and here's the way Dick Vitale sees today's assignments.
Keith, they really have to have a great job on the offensive boards by Battle and Anderson. They got to make Jay Edwards earn his points, not hit the open shot, and they have to keep this crowd quiet because this is one of the great home court environments. Indiana, Edwards and Hillman are going to have to hit the perimeter shot, and Jadlow's going to have to find a way to neutralize Battle and Anderson on the interior.
The officials for today's game are Ed Hightower, Randy Drury, and Burl Sell, and we're ready to play. It is packed house again at Assembly Hall.
He was really loose before the game, Mr. Knight. So was Lou Henson yesterday. And you know what they did the night before the game? The two of them went together to see Patrick Knight play, Bobby's son, who's been playing brilliantly during the tournament.
They'll re-jump it.
They're supposed to be fierce competitors, and they go out together, Keith, to see Bobby's son play.
Jay Edwards comes down with the ball, so Indiana will have the first pop at it. On the drive, he got a blocking foul.
Jay's got an irritation in his right eye. They say it developed this morning. He's had a sensational year.
So the Hoosiers, off the blocking foul against Illinois, will play it in. Liberty charged with that foul. Out in front, it's Lyndon Jones, and the ball goes through Hillman's hands. Really snapped the pass over there, and Joe almost lost it.
Man-to-man defense by Illinois.
Jadlow takes it to Edwards. He misses the shot on the rebound inside. It is off Indiana.
Indiana does not want to share this title as we look at the General Robert Montgomery night. They want to win it outright, and if they win here today, they have the Big Ten championship to themselves.
With the absence of Kendall Gill in the Illinois lineup, the book might tell you to play zone defense against Illinois, but Bob Knight doesn't play zone defense. Rebound is outside to Bardo. That's Anderson. Nick Anderson at 35 last Sunday, remember?
He put a show on against Ohio State. I think he's the best kept secret in basketball nationally. He's a tremendous talent.
They go inside Hillman, but he's sealed off as he works on the baseline. You've got Anderson coming in and then popping out and coming in and popping out. He's outside now. Both big men are. Here's a whistle. Here's a foul. It's fouled on Kenny Battle as he tried to seal the baseline against Anderson.
He's their team leader in terms of Keith. He's their team leader in terms of spirit. There's a look at Kendall Gill back in uniform. They say he's going to be given the green light to play starting tomorrow.
Yeah, he says he feels fine. He's been jumping all week. This is Jadlow. Won't go down. And the Illini seal it off and then slap it out of bounds. You have three Illini there, and they don't control it.
Illinois has so many great jumping jacks. They have great athletes. They have quickness. When we define an athlete, we're talking about jumping ability, lateral quickness, and up and down floor speed.
Jadlow to the basket. Shot is blocked. Liberty went to get it and came away clean with it, and Bardo throws it out of bounds.
We saw an example of the great athleticism in the Illinois team as we look at Lou Henson with the Lou-Do, and there is Bobby Knight. Watch Marcus Liberty now. He rotates down, gives help defensively, number 30. Takes it to the glass. Great block.
Illinois moving a little quickly, and Bardo's pass was not picked up. And they turn it over as Indiana comes back now.
Interesting.
The Illini lead 2-0.
Interesting matchup, Bardo versus Jay Edwards.
Anderson, short, partially blocked. Hamilton got a piece of it. And the Illini's Anderson brings it to Battle. He gets it up. It is partially blocked. And Anderson clears it out for the Hoosiers. They try to get loose again. You take it to the floor in that crowd, and you're not going to come out with it most times. This is Liberty.
He told us before the game that he's playing with so much more confidence now, and it's reflected by his statistics. Marcus Liberty has finally started to contribute.
4-0 Illinois.
Bardo playing against Jay Edwards. We have the best offensive player against the best defensive guard in the Big Ten.
Hillman is open.
He's a part of their three-guard offense. He has great range as a shooter, but more than his shooting ability, it's his tremendous leadership that's valuable to the Indiana team.
Hoosiers finally get on the board at 17-20. And there's Anderson going to work again.
He's amazing. He's got that quick release. There were some rumors that he was thinking possibly of leaving school early. He told me, forget about that, Coach. I'm coming back, and that's a wise decision. He needs another year of college basketball.
Edwards. Hard bounce, won't go down. Collision inside, no whistle. Bardo's running with it. Short. Anderson has it. Third shot. Finally, Eric Anderson gets it for the Hoosiers after 3 Illinois shots.
That's the big concern of Indiana, keeping them off the glass.
Edwards not hot at the start.
Indiana's playing at a little bit too fast tempo right now. They're going up and down the court, shooting the ball a little bit too quick. Illinois trying to get some good spacing offensively.
That's short. Henson wanted a foul, couldn't get it. Neither team shooting very well right now. Illini lead 6-2 at 16 minutes to go first half. Big Ten championship game right here for Indiana.
You can feel the electricity from all the way up here, Keith. You can feel the emotion.
Eric Anderson.
He's my selection as the best freshman player in the Big Ten. A diaper dandy, Eric Anderson, former Mr. Basketball in the state of Illinois.
Liberty has hit one outside. Ball is flat loose. Joe Hillman knocked it loose. Eric Anderson picks it up. Jay Edwards, little head fake. Can't get it. Whistle, foul.
Foul's called on Jadlow. Indiana's not making Illinois work hard enough defensively. If you want to get a better shot, Keith, and you want to break down the defenses, you're better off getting a little bit more ball movement. There's Edwards, a little fall away. Jadlow leading into the defensive player.
We've played 4.5 minutes. We have a total of 10 points scored in the ball game. Jay Edwards is 0 for 3 officially from the field. And he figures to warm up before the day is over. But you can see these guys are tough to beat in this hall.
I don't like the configuration of this building. It's made for a football with the high balcony. You're going to build a new one. Call it the General's Palace, Keith. 28,000. We talked about it last week.
Liberty gets loose and misses the shot. He expected contact and didn't get it, and he missed it.
It was an excellent pass. They threw it right over the top of the Indiana defense. The best pass to use against that helping defense is right here, the diagonal pass. Bardo throws it over the top. They set up a back screen, and Liberty doesn't get the deuce.
And a foul was called in the aftermath on Lowell Hamilton.
Here's a kid that knows how to win, the kid with the basketball, Lyndon Jones. He gave him stability when he was inserted in the starting lineup.
That's a foul called on Anderson of Illinois. Net call for blocking.
Joe Hillman a little one-on-one. He's in triple threat position. Tries the crossover, and there's the block. Nick Anderson with the block.
We had a couple of pretty quick whistles. That last one on Jadlow wasn't much either.
I think they're trying to establish control immediately, Keith, and I really think that's a good move.
Eric Anderson for Indiana. Can't get it.
Hillman
is pushing.
Yes, Eddie Hightower with the call. One of the premier officials in basketball. Bobby Knight says, no, Ed. There's Hillman, a baseball player. He's in the Oakland Athletics farm system.
Younger Hillman is looking for a place to roost for 4 years, too. He's quite a player. Bardo is out in front with Liberty.
Both clubs not shooting well, but that's because of the intensity and the defensive effort by both clubs.
Inside, Anderson picked it up after it got loose, but Indiana steals it right back. And Lyndon Jones with Hillman on top. Jones got a crease, loses it though. Good play in there by Liberty. Marcus got a piece of the ball as he went by.
One of the things I like about Hightower as we look at Knight looking at the action is the fact that he makes a quick call and he's really authoritative when he calls or makes a play. Ed Hightower, the official, he worked the championship game last year in the NCAA.
The jump ball, possession arrow to Illinois. As the Illini have 10 rebounds, Indiana 5. Good pass inside Hamilton. He can't get it. Fight for the ball. Anderson jumped. It'll go to Illinois, I think. Let's see. Where's the arrow? No, it's going to go to be Indiana's ball. Yeah.
You know, matchup problems really exist for Indiana. Joel Hillman has to guard Nick Anderson. There's no way he should be able to check Anderson. They have to get him the ball on the inside.
This coming into the game for the Illini, number 23, and Kenny Battle is going to come out right now. With Smith coming in, you get more ball handling ability. He's a guard at 6'4", but you give up the muscle of Battle. Shot comes hard off the iron, and again, the teams continue to shoot very poorly here in the early going. We're at 13-23, and it's only 6'4", Illinois.
Smith is really a better ball handler, as you said, and he's the closest thing to a point guard. One of the reasons they're having a difficult time shooting the ball, Keith, They're hurrying their shots. They're not patient enough offensively.
That foul was on Jay Edwards. Nick Anderson, checked by Eric Anderson, gets it off the back iron, won't come out.
Too much one-on-one, not letting the offense come to them.
Ball softly off the iron, and Jadlow just picked it off.
Indiana tries to get their passing game, pass and go away.
Lyndon Jones, no, rebound. Cleared out of there by Hamilton.
Should get a layup here.
Smith to Liberty.
See, Smith is the closest thing to a true point guard. He creates the opportunity for Liberty with his great quickness.
8-4, Illinois lead. Hillman is open. Liberty was slow to get to it.
Can't allow him to shoot the open jump shot. He's an excellent stationary shooter. Liberty very lazy defensively.
Smith out in front handling the ball. That clears Bardo for some wing work.
Bardo really misses.
Three-pointer. Eric Anderson, the long rebound.
When Kendall Gill and Bardo played together, Keith, they were the best tandem defensively in the Big Ten and maybe the nation.
Inside Jadlow. He'll muscle it and get a foul. And it's on Marcus Liberty.
Liberty trying to check Jadlow inside. Jadlow's had some big days this year, and he's been very inconsistent on the interior. But had a big day against Iowa, had 32, had another big day against Stanford earlier this year.
As we come up to 8 minutes having been played, now shooting percentages become meaningful perhaps. Illinois at 30% and IU at 23%.
One of the great assets they have here at Indiana, the fifth-year player for some maturity. Jadlow's in his fifth year, and so is Hillman.
Smith, deep rebound, moves it quickly.
They got to get a little more patience offensively, get a little better ball movement and player movement are the two key elements of a good offensive set.
Indiana is determined not to let the big people inside have too many. They had 20 offensive boards against them over at Champaign when they beat them.
And last year over here, they beat them on a glass something like 42-18. It was Lou Henson's 500th win.
Smith had a pretty good shot, worked for it. Again, it's one-on-one basketball, though, and didn't get it to go down.
Yeah, the shots are not coming within the realm of their team concept. Jay's got to move a little better without the basketball. Edwards, he's standing around a little too much.
They slap it away from Jadlow. And it goes to Indiana. And Nick Anderson, the man that reached across and knocked it loose.
He rotated over and gave some help. Jadlow should have taken that ball to the goal a little bit quicker.
The Illini by a point. Rebounds, rebounds, rebounds. It's kind of like defense in football. If you dominate on the board, you got a pretty damn good chance of winning. And so far today, Illinois is out in front. Actually, that should be 14.
Well, that doesn't shock us at all with their great athletes, their quickness, and their jumping ability. Watch them defensively. They're switching constantly, but they have the kind of athletes that they can switch because they're so quick.
Smith has Hillman out in front. Hillman works his way loose, misses the shot air ball, and Hamilton rebounds it out of there for Illinois. Beautiful movement that time of the ball.
Nick Anderson does a great job getting up the floor. He shows his good floor speed. I believe he's going to be an excellent three-man in the NBA. Let's look at the field goal percentages. Horrendous.
Anderson now with 6 points in the ball game. Coming up on a halfway point, 10 minutes to go in the first half, and a 10-7 Illinois lead.
Hillman trying to get the good angle for an entry. You want to get like a 45-degree angle. Notice the spacing, 15 to 17 feet apart, so you can't give a lot of help defensively. You don't want to get too close together, Keith, because then you can give some help on a driving lane.
Hillman takes it down the middle.
No way that should happen defensively. Be one man, fine, but he should go in for the unmolested layup. A poor job defensively by Illinois, rotating over and giving help.
Well, Anderson was the man that had to pick him up, and Nick didn't do it. He went right by him. Hillman is 3 out of 4, and the rest of the team is 1 out of 11. Inside, they go to Hamilton against Jadlow.
See, Anderson becomes equal to Hillman by playing on a perimeter. Anderson right now, he's got to go down inside the boxes and take Hillman.
Lyndon Jones goes for the steal, knocks it out of bounds. So Kenny Battle is back in for Illinois, and Marcus Liberty sits down.
I'll tell you what drives me crazy. Most guys are very effective dribbling the ball and creating and looking for their shot, but they don't move well without the ball. Anderson is easy to defend right now because he's not getting a lot of movement without the ball. See, so Hillman, look at him, 44 playing Anderson. He's walking. He should post Joe Hillman down in the box.
Smith puts it up, can't get it. Rebound Lyndon Jones on the baseline. Edwards may get frustrated pretty soon. Hillman's open, no.
That was a great pass by Edwards, creating the opportunity for Hillman.
Here's Smith. Eric Anderson. Both teams continue to shoot quite poorly.
A lot of shots are being challenged, Keith, defensively.
Give the defense some credit. Edwards finally breaks loose.
Second breakdown defensively by Illinois. No one rotates over to give help. Lou Henson's going to make some moves, some substitution.
And as usual, Jay Edwards' basket gives Indiana the lead, right?
And I'll tell you one thing, Keith. He's added a new dimension to his game, driving ability.
That won't go down to Bardo.
Illinois really has no rhythm right now to their offense.
Well, that's Indiana's intent. Take it away from him. Eric Anderson can't get it. Illini again giving him one shot.
One of the key statistics, Indiana's really down in almost every stat except one in the Big Ten. Field goal percentage defensively. And that's why they win basketball games. They have teams shooting about 42% against them.
8 minutes to go, 11-10 Hoosiers. And the crowd now getting into it for the first time.
Fans are arriving in Bloomington, the Big Red, Bloomington, Indiana.
Hillman works his way past Bardo, but then he is sealed off by Hamilton and took a very bad shot. Battle!
Whoa! Woo! Flight number 33, Mr. Battle arrives in Bloomington, Indiana.
At 7:30 to go in the first half. Illini back to the lead, 12-11.
Is that athletic ability?
I don't understand why some of these guys don't break their wrist when they go in and slam it like that. I guess sometimes they do. That's blocked and a foul on Smith.
When you talk about athletes and you look at Illinois, you think of Michigan, pound for pound, inch for inch, probably the most talented team in the Big Ten. I can hear Bill Frieder already. Shut up, Vital. We don't want to hear that. But Michigan's playing well right now.
Hamilton sits down. So does Anderson. Liberty comes back. Small is in. Urban Small, 6'7", 216. He's number 24. Here comes Brian Sloan in to give Eric Anderson a breather.
And why do you think Mr. Sloan is on the floor?
He's the best blocking back in the league.
See, I knew you're going to tie in that football. Oh, Nelly, Sloan's laying another screen.
What you got? I got him.
It'll take him about 1 second before he lays his first screen.
Watch out, man.
Lyndon Jones, you know, he gets hidden in the shadows of Edwards and certainly the shadows of Hillman. But what a steady point guard he's been. Marion High School teamed with Jay Edwards to win 3 consecutive state championships. Take a look at this. Explosion. Keith, we're going to take a look defensively how Illinois breaks down. Notice no help. Look at 33. Battle. He allows Edwards to get the seam. Anderson stares at him like the Kodak man, taking a picture. Nobody rotates over to give any kind of help defensively.
Illini with the ball. Score is 12-12. Battle pumps it up. Well, Kenny's having a pretty good day, but so far Anderson, after a quick burst for 6 points early on, has not been much of a factor.
I'm really impressed with the way that Battle's playing defense out on a perimeter. Bardo, what a defensive player. There he is hooked up with number 3, Jay Edwards.
Ryan Sloan inside to Jadlow and reaching over the top. Marcus Liberty will receive his 3rd personal foul.
That becomes a factor because Illinois doesn't have a whole lot of depth. They're getting clearance to use Kendall Gill starting this coming week, but he's not ready to play today. There's the entry down into Jadlow, and there's Liberty with poor defensive position, and the foul is called on him.
Well, Lou's going to have to get him out of there pretty quick. He wanted to let Anderson and Hamilton rest a little bit, perhaps find some sink. Oftentimes that happens when a player comes out of the game for a time. Larry Smith is in there, and he's seemingly stabilized the movement of the ball for the Illini since he came in.
He gave him a solid point guard. Somebody that could distribute the basketball. Oh, that's a double dribble. That's a double dribble. He lost his concentration. Lou Henson's.
Lou thought they'd knock the ball loose.
Look at the pain on his face. Frustration. Who would want to coach? Who would want to coach in today's day and age?
Well, Hoosier did have his hand on it, but I don't think he lost contact with the ball.
No, he never lost control of the ball.
Meeks is into the ball game for the Hoosiers. Edwards with a howitzer. Jadlow a rebound.
No one blocks out. Jadlow gets inside position, and he has the easy slam dunk.
In the first 5 minutes of the game now, Illinois was slamming the door inside, but now there's nobody in there. Battle's got Sloan posted inside. Now they get it to him. Liberty is open on the return pass and can't get it. And Jay Edwards rebounds.
Jay Edwards is just the versatility.
Illinois is 1 out of 6 so far.
Well, you know he's a streaky shooter, Keith. He's trying to get too many shots off his dribble move rather than running a guy off the screen.
Bad pass by Meek.
Not the place where you want to make that entry from. Up on top, he didn't have the good angle.
Well, if he'd had Jadlow in motion before the pass, it probably would have gone for the dunk, but Jamal let it go, and he was flat-footed and couldn't get it.
Meeks is a tough defensive player on the basketball.
I doubt very much that Jadlow's straight-up vertical leap is too high.
Jadlow rotated off. See, Anderson's got to really work on posting inside.
Well, Kenny Battle hanging in. And the Illini lead 16-14. Battle now with 6 points. Anderson 6 and Liberty 4. And that's the extent of the scoring for Illinois.
They did an excellent job.
Oh, what a play by Battle, huh?
Battle was free on that baseline. He's also working very hard defensively. He's Mr. Tenacity. A little leadership, talking, transfer from out of
He was out of the play.
He's a transfer from out of Northern Illinois, but he's so quick. See, there's Meeks. He's got an opening to the goal. He looks like a halfback. He's taken off. And here comes Battle. He says, no way, Meeks. Get it out of here.
Hillman. And again, the Illini walking around inside. They don't block out. And Hillman gets it.
What a second effort. What an unbelievable effort by Joel Hillman.
Hillman's got 8 of Indiana's 16 points.
And no way he should come up with a second shot with those great leapers inside.
Hamilton's back in the lineup for Illinois. Inside, they lob it to Anderson, who's back, and they score.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. He can do that all night long. It's an M&M or a mismatch. No way can Mr. Hillman check him down in the boxes.
Well, he's a big kid. He's 6'6". He weighs 215 pounds.
Plus, he's so quick with his jumping ability.
Battle right now is working against Anderson.
Look at Sloan laying all those screens. Sloan screen number 45. Jerry Sloan's son. Look at him, look at him. He's calling. He wants to lay another screen. Watch number 45. Run around, lace him. Go ahead, Jerry.
Edwards forced it, but got it.
Can't hold down great scorers, Keith. Only a matter of time. Jerry Sloan must get a kick watching his son Brian give up himself for the team. That's an important element of Indiana basketball, the screen.
All even at 18. 3.5 minutes to go, first half. Low scoring as Battle fires and misses. Out of bounds off Jadlow.
Indiana's game plan is to allow him to shoot the perimeter shot, especially Battle, because Illinois is not a good perimeter shooting team.
.325 to go, first half. Low scoring. Indiana trying to win the Big Ten title today against Illinois at home. Close wins have been the story of Indiana's success this year, and in each of those wins, Jay Edwards has been the prime man.
That's why you win championships, when you can win those kind of games. You look at Jay Edwards and what he has done, and that's why he's my choice. I don't think it's even close. If they win the championship, The victor gets the spoils, and he should be the most valuable player in the Big Ten. I know Glenn Rice is having a great year for Michigan, but you got to go to the winner.
Smith can't get it. Anderson gets it. They get 3 shots, and on the third, Nick Anderson puts it down. 10 points now for Anderson.
That's their great asset. Offensive rebounding. Anderson is just a versatile player as well.
Jay Edwards has the ball on the floor and travel.
Double dribble.
Eric Anderson is back in for the Hoosiers. They're slapping the ball around. And they finally call.
Let's see Jay Edwards right here. Oh, the ball was slapped out of his hands.
He picked it up with both hands and took it off.
It's an amazing story. Didn't have a scholarship the first semester. Bobby Knight reinstated him on scholarship because he did the job academically as well as athletically. Had his highest grade point average last semester.
Tenacious defense inside.
That's why the shooting percentages are what they are, Keith. Great movement. But what a great movement without the ball. He ran a little curl move, used the left hand. I'll tell you what, Keith, he's getting ready to be an All-American, not just All Big Ten.
Nick Anderson tries to answer, can't.
Oh, playing with it up on a cylinder.
That's pretty close. And I don't know who got it.
Look at the mellow Bobby Knight. Very mellow, very passive.
The battle?
I think they give it to Battle.
He's got 8 points.
There's Indiana getting their motion gain.
Battle doing a little officiating too as Edwards hooked him with an elbow for a moment. Hillman trying to break past Bardo. Hits it, count it, foul Bardo.
It amazes you when you see Joel Hillman. He lacks the quickness, but he has the good first step. And the first step is what creates the opportunity for him as he gets in a triple threat position. See, this is triple threat position. You can shoot, you can pass, or you can drive. He decides the driving maneuver and has the great concentration on the release.
Trying to give Indiana the lead and does. 23-22 with 1:50 to go in the first half.
I can't believe this is the same team that I watched play and sat at courtside as Syracuse ran a dunking layup drill against them.
Hillman with 11 points, 11 of Indiana's 23. Battle takes it in and Sloan fouls him.
When you talk about the great guards in the country, Keith, when you pick an All-American, I don't think you can leave out, even though he's a freshman, he's not a freshman with the ball, Chris Jackson, who will feature at halftime. But Jay Edwards' name has got to start popping up there with the Mookie Blaylocks and the Sherman Douglases.
This is the first trip to the foul line for Illinois, and Battle misses.
Here's Kenny Battle. Now we watch Anderson shoot the ball, but watch Battle play with the ball. Now here it is. There's the ball up. Now the ball was off the cylinder.
Oh, it came off. Yeah, they didn't back. 23-23, minute and a half to go. First half.
Look at Battle playing defense on the perimeter. Number 33. See, he's switching defensively. Now he'll guard Jones. Jones gives it up. He'll switch on someone else. He's like the roving back. What do you call him in football? Monster back? You know those guys, the linebackers. He's roving all over the place.
Lyndon Jones.
He loves the gut of the defense. Lyndon Jones penetrates and breaks the defense down.
Hoosiers lead by 2, 25-23. Bardo for 3, won't go. Deep rebound. Comes out to Indiana. Lyndon Jones. Missed it. And it is off Anderson, and he's spoken that somebody pushed him in the back.
Look at Lyndon Jones, the frustration. Great move by inserting him into the lineup. I'm sitting here in amazement thinking of Jones and Edwards playing together on a scholastic level where they won 3 state championships together. 2 talented backcourt performers.
P.J. Bowman comes in now, replacing Bardo for Illinois. That gives Hillman a height advantage against Bowman.
Bowman, a quick little player. Look at Hillman, ran him right into the screen. Ran him right off the screen. The best guy using screens was Steve Alford. The closest guy I've seen to him with Indiana is Joe Hillman.
Now Lou Hipson wants the Illini to go for the last shot. We're inside a half minute. 27-23, Indiana lead.
Low scoring half, but a competitive half with a lot of emotion. These fans are something else down here at Bloomington. There's Lou doing some coaching.
Oh, my goodness. Battle hit it with his knee, recovered it, and scored it. Big half for Battle. The half is over, and it's a two-point ball game. Indiana 27, Illinois 25.
Excellent play by Battle. Showed his athletic ability. Good coaching move by Lou Henson as we look at Bobby Knight going to the locker room with a +2 in Bloomington, Indiana.
All right, the halftime is about done. We're getting ready for the second half. Kind of interesting. The two head coaches are standing right down here, head to head, in a close conversation about something. But looking over what has happened in the first half, Dick, how do you feel about it? Are you surprised at anything?
Well, you know, you look at the first half, if you're Illinois, you have to be happy if you're Lou Henson for the fact that Hamilton and Bardo between them are 0 for 11, and yet you're right in a basketball game. Hillman had a great first half for Indiana, made a lot of clutch baskets, had a really key drive where he really looked excellent taking the ball to the goal. As we take a look at the stats right here, certainly Indiana proves again with their defense, allowing Illinois only 34% from the field, and that was a key in the first half. 3-point shots, non-existent.
You don't think the old coaching homily is not showing up here today that you win championships with defense?
Well, you better believe that's a Bobby Knight credence as we look right here. The leaders. We take a look right now at Battle.
Well, he's been the lead man for Illinois, no question about it.
There's Battle exploding along the baseline. He has such great explosive ability when he takes the ball to the goal. That one, look at Joe Hillman, a little curl move. Nobody rotates over defensively for Indiana, and he gets the easy, unmolested layup.
And Jay Edwards is now he's 3 for 8.
But here was a tough shot he made right here in traffic, hanging, twisting, turning.
He went 0 for 6 before he got one to drop, though, and that was that little layup.
I don't want to make excuses for him, Keith, but he does have an eye problem that they indicated to us prior to the game that his eye was infected. If we look at Lou Henson, he had a nice powwow with Knight. Knight was hugging him there at halftime.
Only one player in any kind of foul trouble. That will be Marcus Liberty for Illinois. The front court scoring for the Illini was 21 points out of the front and only 4 out of the back court for IU.
He's bored. He's bored. Look at Edwards. He's bored. That's what he thinks of my analysis, Keith.
All this tension and pressure, yeah. IU has only 5 points out of the front line and 22 out of its back court. Of course, 13 of those have come from Joe Hillman.
We're trying to hype the game. It's a big game, and there's Jay Edwards yawning at halftime.
Larry Smith starts the second half for Illinois instead of Marcus Liberty. And this is Bardo with Smith out in front holding the point guard position. Down inside you've got Battle, Hamilton, and Anderson, and Hamilton has not been heard from yet.
They're not even guarding Bardo on a perimeter. They're leaving him wide open.
It's a good play by Edwards.
Good anticipation ability by Jay. Comes out of the double team, reverses the ball to Hillman.
Defense. 27-25, Indiana leads, and Lyndon Jones hits it.
Break down the defense on the other side, gets a good shot percentage, excellent execution.
Isn't it amazing how many of Indiana's points are scored from the left side of the key?
Yeah, they do run a lot of offensive sets and screens on that left side. Shot selection's always been a key element of Indiana.
Smith will put it up and short. And that goes right into the arms of Judlow.
That's the big negative of Illinois, the perimeter shot.
That's why everybody plays zone, except Indiana just doesn't play zone. Lyndon Jones again.
I'll get a T.O., Lou Henson, baby. Get a T.O., Lou. Look at Tate's lock. He's all fired up. And there's the relaxed general.
31-25, Indiana to start the second half. To the attack, Anderson puts it up. Bounces off, no good. Jay Edwards rebounds it. Indiana looking for a run. They lead by 6. Edwards pumps it up.
Score the basket.
Count it. They lead by 8.
Bobby Knight jumped out of his seat like you couldn't believe. Poor play defensively by Illinois. I don't believe that shot was going in, Keith. There's the penetration. Look at him hanging in the air.
Well, the Illini have got a problem right now. They've got to come up with a bucket pretty quick here. They're going to really be in some deep water. Inside they go to Hamilton. He forces it. Won't get it. Eric Anderson rebounds. Indiana moves it.
Indiana wants it a little bit more right now. They're playing a little bit more.
Edwards. Oh, no. Rebound inside Nick Anderson.
I was going to say, Keith, they're playing a little bit more aggressively right now. Illinois looks a little passive.
Well, they sense blood. Rebound outside. There's a foul called on Lowell Hamilton. Frustrated. Jadlow had him on his hip.
Jadlow did a great job of blocking out one of the lost arts. Lowell Hamilton, as we look at him, and now there's Lou Henson doing a little pleading on the sideline. Hamilton is 0 for 6 at this juncture. 0 for 7 right now at this juncture.
All right, Jones is at 2 big buckets for Indiana. Takes it all the way to the baseline.
Lyndon Jones says, forget about it, Dick Vitale, talking about Jay Edwards. I'm the star right now.
Lou Henson spends another timeout. It is now a 10-point Indiana lead, and the Illini are in trouble. Smith and Bardo to bring the ball inbounds for Illinois. 35-25, Indiana on a run. The Hoosiers jumping out with Illinois taking some bad shots, actually, and they're scoreless so far in the second half. They need one here. This is Anderson. Short. Gets it back. Try again. Got it.
That's a big basket, but Bardo's got to start contributing, Keith, and so does Hamilton. Both guys have not scored yet.
Some pressure, a little trap on Edwards. That frees Lyndon Jones, who has hit 3 buckets here in this second half. 8-point lead for the Hoosiers.
He has the excellent ability to penetrate the gaps of the defense.
Eric Anderson. Jadlow's been quiet from a scoring point of view, but he's done a good job inside with his bulk today.
He's neutralized the big people.
Hightower calls. 2 personal fouls on Ken Battle.
The personal foul, Illinois, number 33, Kenny Battle, his second personal.
Saturday, Illinois, Michigan at Ann Arbor, 4 Eastern time. That game will have some meaning, too, when it comes to the NCAA committee seating, won't it?
Oh, no doubt about it, Keith. Michigan right now moving up. They get a foul on Jadlow inside. You know, I really believe this. Michigan is like 2 points away from being #1 in the nation. Had they beaten Indiana in those 2 heartbreaking games they lost at the buzzer, I really believe they're #1 now in America.
Well, we'll get some test of that next Saturday against Illinois up at Ann Arbor, Chrysler Arena.
They're blowing people out right now, Michigan.
Edwards goes down. Inside, they take it. Hamilton tries it. Cannot buy one today. And Eric Anderson rebounds it.
Hamilton's turning, shooting the jumper, falling away, and he's not in good rebounding position.
Oh, Eric Anderson was wide open, and they got it to him too late.
Indiana's coaching staff, they want this W badly because they got a road trip coming up. They want to wrap it up in front of their fans. There's a deflection. Oh, actually, they got a home game with Wisconsin. Yeah. Then they go on the road with Iowa.
Smith for Illinois. Can't get it. Tip, no. Hillman pursues it. Joe's got it. 3-on-1.
Tremendous pass by Joel Hillman. The bounce pass. For all you youngsters, 2-on-1, use the bounce pass, not the air pass. It's easier to deflect.
All of a sudden, Lyndon Jones has got 11 points in this game, and the Hoosier lead is 10. Anderson inside, ball taken away by Hillman.
Hillman with an unbelievable defensive play. This team believes, Keith.
Eric Anderson didn't see it coming. Grabs the loose ball. Illinois wants a travel, but instead it's a foul against the Illini on Hamilton.
Anderson has no sight of the ball. They want the walk-in violation. They claim they had the foul prior to the walk.
37-27. Played almost 5 minutes, and Illinois scored 2 points. Eric Anderson doesn't miss that shot very often. That's off a Hoosier out of bounds into the Illinois ball.
Illinois has got to pick it up a notch with some intensity. They got to get the adrenaline flowing. They have to find a player that wants the ball right now. The guy I'd pick out is Nick Anderson.
Well, it goes a lob. The battle hit the backboard on the bad pass, and here comes the Hoosiers again. Hillman taking it in.
The difference in this game right now is the guard play of Indiana versus the ineptness of the guard play of Illinois.
Irvin Small now. Lou Henson's going to try Small. He's getting nothing out of the unit he's got out on the floor right now. 12-point lead, and finally Anderson muscles it up and in.
With patience on offense, they can get the ball down to Anderson on the block, and he'd be unstoppable. Look at that percentage, 22% for Illinois. No patience on offense.
Eric Anderson, bad pass right into the hands of Smith. Edwards fouls him, and Smith can't get it to roll down. That'll be foul number 2 on Jay Edwards.
That's a good foul by Edwards, though. Now he puts him at the free throw line to have to make the 2 as opposed to getting the easy layup. Oh, look at Anderson. He gives it off, and now he's off to the races. See, Smith veers out. He should have stepped in and cut off the angle of Jay Edwards, and he would have had the layup.
Number 23, Larry Smith.
He'll shoot 2.
Bobby is so proud of the efforts of Jay Edwards and that he's made a complete turnaround thus far with his life. As we all know, he went to a drug rehabilitation center prior to the season. He was in school without a scholarship, was paying his own way. But Bobby reinstated him, put him on scholarship after he had a great academic first semester.
Hamilton's out. Small comes in for the Illini. Indiana moving it up. You're going to mess with a lineup that's giving you this kind of a burst, are you? 39-31. Edwards against Smith, goes right by it.
No one's rotating over defensively, Keith. They have a tremendous breakdown now in their team concept defensively, and that's so unusual for Illinois. Always one of the top defensive teams in the Big Ten.
Nick Anderson forces, won't go. Bardo is fouled by Hillman.
Bardo usually makes a lot of contributions rebounding. Today he's really not having an excellent game, really struggling offensively.
That's a second foul on Hillman. We're just inside 14 minutes, 41-31, Indiana by 10. Bardo for 2.
He can't wait to get back his running mate. When he and Kendall Gill played together and they were 17-0, they were like poetry in that backcourt. They made so much unbelievable music together as well defensively, forcing turnovers, creating opportunities for transition layups.
Bardo pursuing Hillman with Jones. They've got Edwards in the left corner. The left side is where he likes it. Rotates around now. That puts Jadlow wide open on the baseline, and they miss it.
They seem to be picking it up a notch a little bit defensively. Oh, that first step is amazing.
Jadlow picks up the rebound, and he is fouled.
And the reason for the foul is because they're too stationary right now. They're standing around as opposed to really being aggressive on a defensive end, Illinois. Look at that first step. That's what creates the opportunity. Now look at everybody standing around. They're watching the action. Goes up in the air.
Small the foul.
Small's out of Simeon High School. One of the premier high schools in the city of Chicago. They got a great player, Deion Thomas. Illinois recruiting very aggressively on Mr. Thomas.
9-point lead, Indiana.
Big possession. If they don't have anyone really to look for that three-point shot. See Anderson trying to sit on the post.
Oh, what? Bad pass. Trying to force it into Anderson.
Well, they're telegraphing.
Everybody else is standing still.
Well, they're telegraphing it and making it so easy for them to recognize, and Edwards just backing off, giving help. Now you watch right here. They're not even guarding Smith. See, he's not even looking at the basket in triple threat position. Edwards goes down, he fronts, and there's the deflection.
Full court pressure now. As the big men come back to help in the Indiana scoring. Hillman 15, Edwards 10, and Jones 11. They've scored 36 out of the 42 points that the Hoosiers have on the board.
Indiana doing a great job with timing, with tempo also. 44, Hillman having an outstanding game.
Lyndon Jones has been the catalyst to start the second half. He led the burst.
He's been the engine. He's been the guy that's made them go. See, there's their patience. There's their spacing. 15 feet apart. Penetrate the gaps.
Against Liberty, Jones scores.
They're just isolating him, and he's taking the ball to the goal. And I can't emphasize enough, Keith, how in a team concept defensively, you must rotate over to take away the driving angle.
That's the 4th personal foul on Marcus Liberty.
And Lou does such a great job team defensively that he can't believe it. They come over very passive.
Well, aren't you entitled to stand there? I think Marcus felt he got short into that stick.
Well, he thought he bumped him with his body. Here comes a real mystery man. He's like my stocks, Keith. Number 45. He's the Dow Jones, up and down like all my stocks, Mr. Hamilton. One day he's brilliant, one day he disappears.
All right. It's a 12-point Indiana lead, and Jones is 5 for 5 in the second half to spark it. Outside, Bardo lets it go, and he's short with it, and it's off Anderson, and right now the Illini can't do anything right.
Well, the game strategy and the plan of Indiana was to allow them to shoot the perimeter shot. And as we can see, Illinois struggling shooting that perimeter shot. Kendall Gill was an outstanding three-point shooter.
Hoosiers are really plugged up the middle.
They're getting a lot more motion on offense, too. Look at a cut by Hillman. He got knocked to the deck.
Edwards. Anderson, he's fouled.
When you're saving the basketball, Keith, you never throw it toward your opponent's basket. Poor play by Marcus Liberty.
Jadlow was yelling, give it to me, because there wasn't anybody within 6 feet of him, but before Anderson could get it to him, he was fouled. Foul was on Bardo, his second. The situation now, Liberty with 4, Bardo 2, Hamilton 3, and Battle 2. And this is Edwards out of the corner, won't go down. Eric Anderson had to roll off. Well, that was a gimme, because he was there all by himself. Bardo takes it in, and he is fouled. Lyndon Jones.
Bardo created the opportunity in transition. Another excellent area of Indiana basketball. They very rarely give you the easy layup in transition. They constantly force you to play 5 against 5.
Illinois, number 35, Stephen Bardo.
Bardo to the line. 4-2.
Oh, hide that 0 for 7. He doesn't want to see that. He said, please, they take that off the screen. You talk about game preparation. My flight was delayed, but you were here yesterday. 3 sessions?
3 sessions. 11 to 1, 3 to 5, and brought him back to 6.
In the meantime, the coaches broke down all kinds of film.
Second one won't go down for Bardo. 11-point lead, Indiana. The Big Ten championship is theirs if they win this game.
Everybody waiting for an Indiana collapse, and they're going for 22 out of 23 games in the toughest conference in the nation.
Jadlow's on the baseline.
Jadlow, good post position. They're carving the Illinois defense apart.
He's been in there a lot lately, and they just haven't been able to get the ball to it.
Well, he's sealing them off inside.
Nick Anderson forces, won't go down. Rebound Bardo, he can't get it. And whistling in and slamming it down out of sheer frustration is Lowell Hamilton. And a foul called against Jay Edwards, which will be his 3rd.
Lowell Hamilton finally makes a contribution on the offensive boards.
You know that when Eric Anderson had that freebie down there and missed it a few minutes ago, as things have turned now, it may be that this is the time Illinois might have a chance to get back in the hunt.
Well, they got to get a spurt going with their defense because they're certainly not getting it with their offense. They have to create some opportunities with their athletic ability, get some easy layups. Look at the 3rd foul on Jay Edwards.
Kenny Battle is back in the lineup now, and Bardo comes out for the Illini. Hamilton going to the line, trying for a 3-point play. Nope. Maybe it is not to be.
And he's had a much more consistent year this year, Hamilton, than in the past. But today he's been non-existent. As Indiana laying all those screens to get people free.
He has to put Liberty back in, trying for some scoring, but Liberty's got 4 fouls.
Oh, Jay Edwards missed Tillman. He was wide open.
He's got him right where he wants him, with Liberty in front of him. If he gets a little drive and room here, then Hillman's going to take it in. Liberty with 4 fouls has got to be a little timid.
Well, he's not a good defensive player to start with when he has no foul trouble. Here's that first step again.
Won't go. Rebound cleared by Hamilton, and here comes Battle playing the entire floor. Ball thrown behind Anderson. The Illini can't even catch it right now. Inside. Foul.
3 seconds.
3 seconds. 3 seconds.
They are struggling offensively, Keith. They have no rhythm at all. Their spacing is not what you'd like in your offensive sets. You know, you got to credit some of that to the Indiana defense as well. Indiana does such a great job helping out defensively.
He goes to P.J. Bowman now, Lou Henson does, putting Liberty back on the bench. Bowman is a quick player.
He's a good shooter,
He's
too.
only 5'10".
He's got good range. His stats don't prove that he's a good shooter, but he can knock down the three-point shot.
Inside Jadlow, foul. Anderson.
They're starting to get good angles on their post-entry. I'll tell you, the key to a good offensive set, a lot of guys are good shooters, Keith, but they don't know what a good shot is, and they don't know how to get in position for a good shot. The Indiana kids work and get good positioning.
Nick Anderson now, 2 personal fouls.
See, I think shot selection really is created by the guy on the sideline. And Bobby Knight does an amazing job in defining for his players a role, and then he makes sure that the key players are shooting the ball at the right time.
48-36.
Indiana, I thought we were looking at a year of maybe, if they were lucky, 6-12 in the Big Ten this year after watching them earlier. I can't believe this team has done what they have done. It's been one of the great coaching jobs in college basketball.
Any Battle will take it to the baseline. Double team. Good pass inside to Hamilton, but Lowell can't get it. And is he frustrated.
Illinois had that tough break losing Kendall Gill, or this team would have really... There's Bobby Knight talking about helping out on defense. I mean, all the coaches I spoke to that saw Illinois earlier, you talked to Bill Frieda when they played him earlier with Kendall Gill, you speak to Gene Cady, you speak to Dale Brown, and all the adjectives flow about what an effective basketball team they were. They are getting Gill back, and they should really be ready for the NCAA. What did he tell us? He said, I'm ready to go right now.
That's what he said.
So I don't have any problem whatsoever.
Hamilton with 2 points at the line. Go inside 10 minutes.
Oh, that's an offensive foul. Oh, that's an offensive foul. Burrell missed that, baby. He just knocked him to the deck with the left arm. Watch his left arm. Watch his left arm. You tell me. He just throws him out. Jones says, get out of the way. Well, what I like right now, the officials aren't compounding the mistake by calling a technical on Henson, because certainly Henson's waving a white flag. He's like surrendering. You know, usually you see the bad call, and then they compound it by calling a technical on a guy for standing up fighting for what he's right about.
Justice is served. He missed. 48-38, 9:50.
This game's not out of the woods yet.
Little balance act there.
That's a look at Kendall Gill. He wants to play so badly. Look at him, look at him. He can't believe it. He's saying no, no, no. He's a beautiful young man, and we wish him a great return. Got hurt in that game we had, Georgia Tech, 6 weeks ago.
Hillman gets that foul. He, like Edwards now, with 3, and Kenny Battle picks up the point.
I smell a spurt, my
Illinois. I'm looking for it. I thought it might have come back when Indiana had a chance to free basket and they didn't get it.
I really smell a spurt coming out. Bowman is working hard defensively, something they haven't had in the backcourt. He's putting pressure on the ball.
8-point lead now for the Hoosiers at 9:30 to go in the game. Hillman. It's tough.
Fundamental basketball. Catch the ball, square your body, get a triple threat position, use the good first step.
Battle, almost an air ball, and Jay Edwards comes out with it. Inside Jadlow, and he is held by Battle.
Indiana has such a good understanding of how to play the game, both offensively and defensively.
Battle with 3 personals now.
And that's the reason right there. The Hall of Famer should be in the Hall of Fame.
2 free throws. Number 11, Judlow.
There's Battle trying to rotate in. They get up to grabbing the arm. Judlow made 17 in a row on the free throw line against Iowa earlier this year.
11-point lead. Makes the first one, misses the second. He's done that 3 times now, the last 3 trips to the foul line. 11-point lead.
They're going to look for Bowman to shoot the ball. He's a good 3-point shooter.
Coachable too, huh?
He must have listened to me, Steve.
8-point lead for Indiana.
I like what Bowman's doing on the floor. The way he's working against Jones, trying to neutralize his one-on-one ability. 5-second violation. 5-second violation. Oh, he gave him the TO.
We'll be back after this message and the word from our ABC station. Indiana 51, Illinois 43, 8 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the game.
Indiana's guards have 41 of the 51 points. Unbelievable. They're such a guard-oriented basketball team, and they all know what their key options are. Edwards and Hillman.
Liberty is back in, playing with 4 personal fouls. Out on top, Judlow. Now Hillman for 3.
They know their options, Keith. They really know how to get the ball to the right people.
Hillman has 20. Bardo for 3. Answer.
Steve Bardo, they really needed that 3-point shot. They're playing off him. He's wide open.
Battle pursuing Hillman. 8-point Indiana lead. Edwards. Missed it. Judlow missed the tip. Liberty rebound.
But you notice who shoots the ball? Edwards and Hillman. They're key people, not the wrong people.
Bounce pass inside Hamilton.
Lowell Hamilton finally arrives. He's got great jumping ability.
Now a 6-point lead. Trying to trap in the backcourt.
There's the run and jump defense created by Dean Smith. The Michelangelo lost a heartbreaker today to Duke. Congratulations to Jimmy Valvano winning the ACC.
4 overtime.
Yeah.
Edwards.
Oh, what a pass!
Oh, he missed it!
What an unbelievable look by Jay Edwards.
Big bucket right here. Liberty forces, won't go. Hillman rebound.
They don't take good shots, Keith. That's what's really breaking them down. Shot selection right now.
Anderson's out of the game right now, but being sent back by Lou Henson. I don't see how Illinois could hope to win without Nick Anderson.
Can't. There's no way they're going to win without Nick Anderson down the stretch.
But he's had a dreadful day so far. After the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, he's done nothing.
Well, they've done a great job defensively. There's been a lot of help on him.
Blocking foul is called on P.J. Bowman. That's his 2nd personal foul, and Hillman's going to the line. Special time for the Professional Bowlers Tour next Saturday. 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central, and 3 Pacific. And coming along after the bowling folks will be Illinois at Michigan.
There's a look here at the configuration. This is made really for football, the way it's laid out. It's not really a basketball arena. I really would like to see him build a new one. I'm going to start that campaign, I told you. The General's Palace.
Ralph Floyd is going to sabotage your covered wagon, too, if you don't. That takes big bucks.
Doesn't raise that money so easily.
Inside, Anderson doesn't get a clean handle. Bowman with a little head fake. Crowd wanted traveling. Look at that. They're stacked up inside. They got 4 people, and there's just absolutely no room. Now Anderson, and he is fouled by Hillman.
Excellent 2-man play between Bardo and Anderson. Bardo with the penetration into the seam, and then he gets into their #1 option on the inside, Nick Anderson.
Now Illinois can cut it to 3. The Hoosiers have hit a drought.
There's the penetration. There's the dump down to Anderson. Well, you could smell this was going to happen, Keith. They just have too many good athletes.
Hillman now has 4 personal fouls, too.
Yeah, he does. You know, you think of the complexion of this Indiana team. They don't have the junior college players. There's the offensive rebound.
And there's a foul. Eric Anderson.
Bardo has really arrived here in the second half. He was non-existent in the first half.
6:22, a lot of time, 54-50 ball game.
You know, last year Indiana had the junior college players. They had Garrett and they had Smart. I'll give you a rule that's absolutely ludicrous and absurd. In the Big Ten, the only conference, as he misses that free throw, they've eliminated recruiting junior college players. They claim now, if you graduate junior college and you are a non-qualifier out of high school, you must sit 1 year here if you come to a Big Ten school before you're eligible. All the coaches, football and basketball, voted 20-0 as he misses 2 key free throws. That rule is absurd. It's going to eliminate recruiting any junior college player.
4-point Indiana lead, and the Hoosiers, after Bardo misses those 2 big free throws, the bucket here makes the mountain higher, but he misses it, and Hamilton rebounds it.
Bowman has given him a real spark defensively.
He has.
And his defensive spark has become contagious, and he can shoot it.
He goes for 3. He hit 1 a minute ago, doesn't get that one, but Larry Smith does. Feeds inside, Anderson. 2-point Indiana lead. The Illini on a 12-3 run, and Bob Knight wants a timeout.
Good TO by Bobby Knight, but Nick Anderson, a little flight number 25 with the offensive rebound.
So the Illini finally showing some fight.
Nick Anderson gets in great position as 3 people surround the penetration, and there's the dump down, and there's the bench erupting, jubilant. They're getting ready to celebrate. There's Kendall Gill on the sideline. He's hugging people. They can't wait to get him on the floor.
Underneath Edwards.
Goaltending.
Count 2. 4-point lead, Hoosiers.
They designed that play during the timeout. Again, getting into the hands of their leading scorer. There's Edwards. The ball has got to be, remember this, you got to block the ball on its upward flight. You can't get it coming down. Look at him, he's saying goaltending.
56-52, 5:20 to play. Indiana leads. Bardo cut off at the baseline.
Jadlow did a great job of helping defensively.
They let Smith have it. He misses it. And a whistle. And Jadlow foul.
There's the cheerleader, Mr. Gill, cheering him on. Look at the intensity right here. He makes Mike Ditka look like an angel. He's had a great week this week. He's really enjoyed watching his son Patrick play. 6'6", good shooter. 3 in a row they won in the state tournament. They get a foul on a play. Will you believe this? Will you believe? I think they called a foul
on Bardo.
On Bardo.
He and Jadlow were going to the backboard on the free throw.
He was trying to block out. That would be a big swing.
He's called a foul on him. Ed Hightower comes over to him and said, now you wait a minute, coach.
Oh, he's going to bring both? He's bringing both coaches over because you can't speak to one without the other. Now Hightower's got to call them both over. He's got to call them both over.
Lou doesn't want to go. Here's a call.
He's going to sit for 1. Then we're going to go
You can call that all day long in every game.
Foul is called against Illinois, number 35.
There's a 101 down on the other side after he completes this 101.
You don't see that very often, but they were going at it. And I sort of felt it could have gone either way.
Well, they're going to complete the 101 here and then shoot 101 on the other side.
Kenny Battle making that one. The score now is a 56-54, 2-point Indiana lead. But now Jadlow is going to go to the line for a 1+1.
See, all the timing right here and the breaking of the momentum, and that really can affect the basketball team as well.
That's not basketball!
There's a look at the 2 coaches. Lou as calm as can be. Has the Lou do in place today. Always teases me about the Dickey do.
Jadlow makes it a 3-point lead. 5 out of 10 at the foul line. His His habit today has been to make the first, miss the second, and he got this one.
He gets the score. The key to having a good basketball team on a collegiate level, I really believe, Keith, is solid guard play. And Edwards and Jones and Hillman give them great guard play. Now here comes the crowd. The Bloomington people have arrived.
Nick Anderson, Larry Smith. Hamilton sets the trick, trying to open it up for Smith. He gives it back to Bardo for three. Won't go. Tip up, no. Anderson.
Is he an offensive rebounder? Did he want that ball? What a clutch rebound by Nick Anderson.
20 points for Nick now. 2-point Indiana lead, 58-56. Hillman playing with 4 fouls.
Illinois trying to scramble defensively to create the turnover.
Foul, Eric Anderson.
Block on Anderson, Keith.
Wait, 3, 2.
Purcell with the call. I've always liked Purcell. I believe he's one of the premier officials in the Big Ten. I haven't seen him enough this year, but in the past, he's always done a solid job.
4.5 minutes to play in the ball game, 58-56.
We got a good one. Typical Big Ten action like the Michigan, Indiana, the Purdue, Indiana.
Last team to beat Indiana here was Illinois last year.
That was the 500th in Lou Henson's career. What a career he's had. He's been more maligned than most coaches. Bill Frieda, Lou Henson, and Jimmy Boeheim. I always call them members of my own.
This is to tie.
He can tie it.
Missed it. Nick Anderson slapped it out of there, and finally Hillman picks it up.
Who's the leader? Joe Hillman with the good recovery. Oh, he reaches. No, but he reaches across. As soon as you stick that hand in, the whistle's going to blow.
Any battle. He has 4. Liberty is on the bench with 4. Hamilton 3, Bardo 3.
Keith, as soon as you stick this hand across the defensive player, inevitably you're going to get the whistle, even though it looked like a pretty good deflection. Coaches constantly teach, don't reach for the ball. There he is reaching across. Hey, it looks like a great steal right there.
Not in college.
He's automatic on a free throw line. What a year Joe Hillman's had. He came to Indiana without a scholarship. He came out of Glendale. They finally gave him a scholarship because one opened up, but he averaged 41 points a game in high school, the first kid they recruited from out of California.
3-point lead, 60-57, Indiana. Coming up on 4 minutes. Smith puts it up. Smith is fouled.
Larry Smith with a good one-on-one maneuver, penetrates. He's been a solid player today. He's done some solid.
Played very well today.
Yeah, he's made a real good contribution. There he is in an isolation. Now Anderson's going to try to rotate out. There's the head fake to get Jones up in the air.
Linden's second personal foul.
Good body control. Not making those free throws.
They just cannot get even.
Well, they're missing some really clutch free throws, and that was their problem last year when they were eliminated by Villanova in the NCAA. Oh, what a pass!
All by himself.
Scoring a basket. Look at the pain. Look at the pain, the hurt on Lou's face.
Hillman, 24 points. That's just season high.
Moving without the ball. I said earlier, as a member of my own, Guy V. Lewis, he was another guy got maligned, and all he did was go to the Final Four every year.
Inside Hamilton.
Well, Hamilton catches the ball in the lane. That's the one thing he can do. Turn around and shoot the little jump shot.
Knock it loose from Edwards.
Now they need good shot selection right
Going
here.
for the lead right here.
They need patience right now, discipline.
Lou Henson calling timeout. He must have burned his timeout by now. Can't have very many left.
Good timeout by Henson to set up a real good shot now. Most likely get it to Anderson.
And hopefully give Illinois the lead. Well, up there you see the critical numbers in this whole afternoon of anxiety for both sides. With Indiana trying to win, Bob Knight trying to win his 9th Big Ten championship in 18 seasons.
I know this would be really a miracle, but if Illinois can beat Indiana, beat Iowa, and then beat Michigan, I believe they'd be the #1 seed in the Midwest. if they can win those 3 games, and they may not win the Big Ten championship, because all Indiana has to do is, even if they lose here today, beat Wisconsin Thursday. But you know what? If they can beat Indiana, Michigan, and Iowa, they deserve to be number 1.
Possible. Rebound comes off the back iron.
They went to the right guy. They designed that play in a timeout. He just didn't score, but that's a good shot. Nick Anderson.
Jay Edwards handling the ball, coming up to 3 minutes exactly now. 1 point Indiana lead, 62-61.
Notice how they'll run around and lay some screens for Hillman and for Edwards. He's over-dribbling a little bit too much today.
Lyndon Jones led a spurt that got, at one point, Indiana a 12-point lead. But the Illini have clawed back.
I love the way Joe Hillman catches the ball and squares with the ball.
That's the 3.
That's why he's Mr. Clutch. He's the heart and guts of this basketball team. When they need the big basket, Jay Edwards always seems to come through.
65-61. Hamilton inside the battle against Eric Anderson. Yes, foul.
Tough shot by Kenny Battle down in the lane. And I've really been struggling on a free throw line.
Now they can tie once more. Well, no, they can't either. But each, how many times? 4 times they've had a chance to tie, right?
Yep.
And they haven't made the free throw.
There's the left-handed spinning jump shot in the lane. There's a look at all those banners. National Championship, 76, 81, and 87.
That'll get them within 1, 65, 64, 2, 10 to play.
It's been a heartbreak city here in Bloomington, Indiana, with the Michigan game, the Purdue game.
Edwards for 3, no. Rebound goes to Hamilton.
Right.
Illinois was down 48-36 at 10:17 to play in the game. That's how far they've come back.
We anticipated that run, Keith. You just can see their athletes were going to really make that little move. They're just too athletic. There's no substitute for jumpers and quickness.
Bardo, 3.
Shooting the ball with confidence now. Steve Bardo made one a little bit earlier. Not a good shooter.
Illinois goes to the lead. Having been down by 12, Jadlow misses.
Big rebound.
Anderson, Nick Anderson to Smith. Blocking call, foul Lyndon Jones. This thing is turned around on the Hoosiers.
Remember, Illinois hanging on in the Big Ten race. Yogi Berra says it ain't over, baby, until it's over. And there's the foul by Hillman. Free throw shooting now down the stretch becomes so big.
Number 25 at the line, Nick Anderson.
Missed it. Indiana ball.
They have really hurt themselves on that free throw line, Keith.
Well, they saw you and I come to town. I mean, you can't decide this thing until there's less than 5 seconds.
And I'll tell you another thing, what's really gotten Illinois back in the game has been their defensive effort. Indiana gets the timeout.
P.J. Bowman, the little guy, was the one that triggered the comeback by the Illini. Illinois leading by 2. When she was finishing up that thing, and a fellow named Tyson came to town to see her, and they almost tore up the hotel.
That's been Tyson's toughest fight is Robin Givens, not Frank Bruno. You know, really right now, Keith, people wonder what goes on in that timeout. Coaches really plan out their strategy, number 1, in designing their options. Number 2, they work on matchups. And number 3, allow them to know a little bit about the time, score, and give them a little bit about strategy.
Lyndon Jones missed it. Illinois the rebound at a minute to go. A 2-point lead in the ball for the Illini.
Now they have to have some real discipline. And I would be looking right now for Nick Anderson as my guy to want to shoot the ball. Indiana trying to go into a little trap. Oh, see, they're going to spread the court and utilize their one-on-one athletic ability against Indiana.
67-65, 40 seconds to play. The Illini trying to stay alive in the Big Ten title hunt.
I would get it in the hands of Anderson for the shot as they're using the shot clock. Is down to 10. 25 on the game clock, winding down.
Foul inside, Eric Anderson. Well, now if Anderson's just fouled out of the ball game.
Right now, if he converts both these, they're in pretty good shape. But if he makes one, Indiana's still got the great chance.
Eric Anderson's fouled out. Jamal Meeks comes in to replace him. The quickness factor important here.
Meeks comes on the floor also as Anderson goes to the sideline. Didn't have a big game here today, but at least his body was big enough to help to neutralize Battle and Anderson on the interior. Right now they bring Meeks in for defensive ability.
1+1. Got to make the first one. He missed it. Illinois knocked it out of bounds. Indiana's ball.
What a call by Hightower. Does Bobby Knight use his last timeout, or does he let him play like he did? I'd get the timeout. I would get the timeout.
17 seconds. 67-65, Illinois.
I'll tell you why that's a good move for the timeout, Keith. As opposed to the Michigan game when you're in the flow of the offense, as we watch the deflection right now, the ball goes off in Illinois players' hands. As opposed to the Michigan game when you're in the flow of the offense, as you have the ball, you don't have to inbounds the ball. Well, here they were going to inbounds the basketball, so he's better off getting the timeout to shape up and to set up exactly what he wants done on the floor. And I ask you, who do you think is going to be his first option?
Gee, Coach, I don't know.
Do you think Lou Henson right now knows that they're going to try to go to Mr. Edwards and not Mr. Meeks?
Here's Bob Knight's reaction when they come up with a ball, having Battle missed the front end of that 1+1. I won't be surprised, though, to see Hillman if there's a crease.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be, his options would be Edwards number 1, Hillman number 2. Illinois has to recognize that now, and I would put my best defensive player, Bardo, on Edwards right now. And I'd put Smith on Hillman.
Well, let's see how the assignments go.
Well, see, it all depends on what Indiana's going to bring on the floor. Now, what Indiana does, they bring 4 guards out. They bring Meeks out. They bring Jones out. They're bringing out all kinds of quickness right now.
Jadlow stays in. Anderson, of course, is fouled out. It comes in to Meeks. Now Lyndon Jones.
Jones being played by Battle. They got all those guards on here. They're going to try to
10
pop.
seconds.
Here's Edwards going to try to get a screen.
Gets it off.
Oh! I can't believe it! I can't believe it! I can't believe it!
No more time. He hit it as time ran out.
He looks like he's behind the baseline, Pete. Amazing! If he's not the MVP, you got a scoop, baby.
This is becoming a habit.
But they're not easy shots, Keith. Look at this shot. He looks like he's falling behind the basket. A rainbow J. The only thing missing, I'm going to be really tough on him. Why not a three-point shot?
Oh, me.
Look at this. They know he's going to shoot it. They got 2 guys ready to attack him. Amazing.
Where was the left foot?
Look at the smile on his face. Look at the smile. He says, easy, no problem. No problem. I've been doing it all year. Just call Katie and Frieda up.
Well, they had shut him down. They had not given him his spot because his spot is over there on the left hand, that 45-degree angle left side of the key, and they shut him out of that.
See, Bobby Knight
chased him all the way to the baseline.
There's Lou Henson drawing all kinds of patterns now with 2 seconds going. Bobby Knight talking in the huddle. Hey, I designed that, baby. You better give me credit for it.
67-67. They have put 2 seconds now back on the clock, and we should definitely make that point that this game is not over.
Look at Bobby. No problem. Just another day at the office for Jay Edwards. And look at Lou Henson.
They had double zeros all over the place as the shot went through, but Ed Hightower immediately came over and he put 2 seconds back on the clock.
They're going to try to throw the baseball pass to one of their great jumpers. Remember, the clock doesn't stop until he touches it. I can't believe it now!
Nick Anderson hit the shot. Oh! Incredible!
They're stunned here in Bloomington. They're stunned. Big Ten basketball. Super, super, super deep. This makes it all worth it. Missing your flight, getting late.
Anderson drilled it from about 27, 28 feet.
Remember, the clock doesn't start until he touches the ball. Look at that.
Ball came in. There were 2 seconds to play. It hit his hands. He whirled around and pumped it in from about 27 feet. Maybe not that far, but certainly long enough. And a valid three-pointer. Here it comes.
There's the baseball pass. Here's the catch.
Clock was a little late starting, and it's an Indiana clock.
They got a slow clock here in Indiana. See, that's where the timer does control the clock.
Look how high Anderson got up.
Look at that shot. Incredible. Well, Keith, it's been a great, great Big Ten run.
I don't think I want to come to Indiana anymore. I can't handle it. I mean, we had the Purdue game with 4 seconds. We had no time remaining when Edwards beat Michigan, and now Anderson with that remarkable effort. And this time, the Illini come from 12 points down in the second half, fight their way back, and win a miracle. Give them credit. They had all the heart in the world, and when it looked like they were going to get run right out of town, they fought their way back into it, and the little guy, P.J. Bowman, helped as much as anybody in leading the resurgence.
He gave him the spark defensively. There's Nick Anderson with that final shot. They'll be running down on all the news stations in Chicago, Champaign. Nothing but that. You think that'll make the highlights, Bill?
Well, Indiana will have a chance to lock up the Big Ten title when Wisconsin comes in Thursday. Illinois will have Iowa at home on Wednesday. Then Illinois goes to Michigan next Saturday, and Indiana will be at Iowa next Saturday. Coming up over most of these ABC stations, stay tuned for either your local news or World News Sunday. And starting Saturday, ABC Sports brings you a weekend full of the best in college basketball. We start with the Big Ten season finale, Illinois at Michigan. Then Sunday, beginning at 2 Eastern, kick off the day with the SEC Basketball Championship, followed by regional coverage featuring the Pac-10 Championship or the Big 8 title. All next weekend on ABC Sports. Another miracle at Assembly Hall in Bloomington, except this time, the other guy won. Illinois 70, Indiana 67.